Hello, Shining Ones. Magus here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. And yesterday, I had the most beautiful day out in the sunshine, and it got me thinking about the writings of that amazing pharaoh, Akhenaten. He wrote the great hymn to the Aten. The Aten is the sunshine. And yesterday, when I was sitting out in my yard with the sun, its rays just touching me, and it felt so beautiful. And I was looking around at the grasses growing and my trees and bushes and the animals singing. And I was thinking it would be impossible for this beauty to be here today without that beautiful sun. And I started thinking, we need to read the great hymn of the Aten. So it's only 3 pages. It's some of the most beautiful writing I've ever come across. I hope I can read it and do it justice for you. But maybe just sit back and listen and think how blessed we are. When you look up in that sky and you feel that warmth on your face, maybe just take a moment to be grateful. Thou appearest beautifully on the horizon of heaven, thou living Aten, the beginning of life. When thou art risen on the eastern horizon, thou hast filled every land with thy beauty. Thou art gracious, great, glistening, and high over every land. Thy rays encompass the lands to the limit of all that thou hast made. As thou art ray, thou reachest to the end of them. Thou subduest them for thy beloved Son. Though thou art far away, thy rays are on the earth. Thou art in their faces, no one knows thy goings. When thou settest in the western horizon, the land is in darkness, in the manner of death. They sleep in a room with their heads wrapped up, nor sees one eye the other. All their goods which are under their heads might be stolen, but they would not even perceive it. Every lion has come forth from his den. All creeping things they sting. Darkness is a shroud, and the earth is in stillness. For he who made them rests in his horizon. At daybreak, when thou arisest on the horizon, when thou shinest as the Aten by day, thou drivest away the darkness and givest thy rays. The 2 lands are in festivity every day, awake and standing upon their feet, for thou hast raised above them, washing their bodies, taking their clothing. Their arms are raised in praise at thy appearance. All the world, they do their work. All beasts are content with their pasturage. Trees and plants are flourishing. The birds which fly from their nests, their wings are stretched out in praise to thee. All beasts spring upon their feet. Whatever flies and alights, they live when thou hast risen for them. The ships are sailing north and south as well, for every way is open at the appearance. The fish in the river dart before thy face. Thy rays are in the midst of the great green sea. Creator of seed and woman, thou who makest fluid into man, who maintainest the son in the womb of his mother, who soothest him with that which stills his weeping, thou nurse even in the womb, who giveth breath to sustain all that he has made. When he descends from the womb to breathe on the day which he is born, thou openest his mouth completely. Thou suppliest his necessities. When the chick in the egg speaks within the shell, thou givest him breath within it to maintain him. When thou hast made him his fulfillment within the egg to break it, he comes forth from the egg to speak at his completed time. He walks upon his legs when he comes forth from it. How manifold it is what thou hast made. They are hidden from the face of man, O soul godlike, whom there is no other. Thou did create the world according to thy desire. While thou wert alone, all men, cattle, and wild beasts, whatever is on earth going upon its feet, and what is on high flying with its wings, the countries of Syria and Nubia and the land of Egypt, thou settest every man in his place. Thou suppliest their necessities. Everyone has food, and his time of life is reckoned. Their tongues are separate in speech, and their natures as well. Their skins are distinguished, as thou distinguished the foreign peoples. Thou makest a Nile in the underworld that bring forth as thou desirest to maintain the people of Egypt, according as thou hast madest them for thyself. The Lord of all of them, wearing himself with them, the Lord of every land, rising for them, the Aten of the day, great of majesty. All distant foreign countries, thou makest their life also. For thou hast set a Nile in heaven, that it may descend for them and make waves upon the mountains like the great green sea, to water their fields and their towns. How effective they are, thy plans, O Lord of eternity. The Nile in heaven, it is for the foreign peoples, and for the beasts of every desert that go upon their feet. Thy rays suckle every meadow. When thou risest, they live, they grow for thee. Thou makest the seasons in order to rear all that thou hast made, and the winter to cool them, and the heat that they may taste thee. Thou hast made the distant sky in order to rise therein, in order to see all that thou dost make while thou wert alone. Rising in thy form is the living Aten, appearing, shining, withdrawing or approaching. Thou madest millions of forms of thyself alone, cities, towns, fields, roads, and river. Every eye beholds thee over against them, for thou art the Aten of the day over the earth. Thou art in my heart, and there is no other that know thee save thy Son, for thou hast made him well versed in thy plans and in thy strength. The world came into being by thy hand, according as thou hast made them. When thou hast risen, they live, and when thou settest, they die. Thou art lifetime thy own self, for one lives only through thee. Eyes are fixed on beauty until thou settest. All work is laid aside when thou settest in the west. But when thou risest again, everything is made to flourish for the King. Since thou did found the earth and raise them up for thy Son, who came from thy body, living and youthful forever and ever. Beautiful. I love, love, love you.